Hi, hi. I decided to come live this morning because I have a message for you, and it's coming on really strong, and I didn't really want to write it. I was just feeling like I need to just speak it. So here it goes. Um, the message is about how we feel about what we're doing. So as we're going through this journey, as we're going in our journeys of figuring out what we're doing, what we can do, how we can help, what's the best thing, meditating, all of that. A lot of times we do a lot of really big advancements in our lives, and we've gone from like point zero to like 100 in no time, and we can see that. We can see all of these differences. We can see the way we have grown. We can see how we're able to navigate life differently. And yet, we still have doubt. And it seems like we're waiting for a big bang or a big sign that shows you, like, oh, this is it. This is the change. And now you're different. And it's not like that. So the way it works is incremental, right? It works in small incremental spots and steps that you go through your journey in your life. And those little steps end up creating a big jump in your journey. And then you start gathering those big jumps into, where you are. And we don't really get to see it. It's kind of like when you see a child growing up and you have your own child and you don't really realize it, but then they see one of your family members or somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're so big, right? So we don't get to really see how much we have grown in our journeys because we're with ourselves all the time. And so we don't take notice of these little steps, and we're always looking for that big sign that says, hey, now you're okay, now you've arrived, now you've cleared it, right? But it's not like that. And when we start to look for those things, we start to doubt all of the journey that we've already gone through. We start to doubt that anything has happened. And that happens because that's what we're wired to do, right? Our brains are wired um, to listen to the ego that's keeping us protected, right? The one that's always sending doubt. And that doubt creeps in really easy and really fast because it's all around us. So, especially if you're going through this journey on your own and you don't have support, meaning the people in your family are not really seeing this as a thing, or accepting it, or the people or your friends are completely in a different wavelength than you are. Sorry, my computer's like, I'm holding the computer in my hand. I don't know why I started doing this on my laptop instead of my phone. Anyway, if you don't have that support around you, then the support that you have is here, right? Is through the internet with like-minded people who are able to see you for who you are, who are able to reflect on you, where you were before, and show you where you are now. And it is that keeps you threaded into your own advancement in your journey. It's really important to keep that, and to keep that part of having that connection with people who know you, people who saw you 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it is that your journey is thus far, and they can reflect to you and tell you, this is where you were before and this is where you are now. And then, like, just saying that to you out loud brings you back to yourself and realizing, oh, this is real and I didn't just dream it, and I'm not just making things up, because that's what happens with the ego. And it's just coming up really strongly because this past month with the Scorpio in the energies, a lot of really deep wounds keep coming up. It has come up with all of my clients, it has come up for me in things that I didn't even realize they were anything. I didn't realize it was a wound. I didn't realize it was something that was holding me back. I didn't realize it had affected me, something that happened to me in my childhood or that I experienced as a child that is still playing out now, right, as an adult in through all of this journey. So stuff is coming up and it's deep and it's heavy and it's coming up for clearance. And when these really deep wounds are coming up for you to clear them, and if you don't have the support, meaning someone to listen to you, someone to hear you, someone to speak back to your doubts, right? You can even, like, if you don't really have someone to speak with and you're in this group, you can type it, you can write down the question, and I can let you know what I'm feeling when I tune into your energy, or other people, right, who are in your circle who can see you, and they can reflect back and let you know, hey, this is where you are now. One of the reasons that I ask for testimonials with my clients is not just to share with you guys, but it's for me, because I too fall into that. I am also human in this three-dimensional world, and so I also tend to doubt myself. Did I really do this much? Can I really do this? And when I start to doubt myself, I read those testimonials to myself. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this, I didn't make this up. Somebody actually said this about me. And it's so powerful when you share your gifts and you ask for someone to let you know what they're feeling, or how it was for them, because it just reassures you that what you know inside of you is real. So if you are sharing your gifts with people, ask for that, because it's really important in times of doubt, when you're doubting yourself and when you have no one. And a lot of times this happens when you're really feeling like there's no one online or no one to talk to, and you're like, the ego's like in full force, just giving you all the doubts, right? Then you need to have something that confirms your journey thus far. And your journey is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to expand. It's going to continue to show you your shadows for clearing so that you can expand even more. The expansion is infinite. So there is no end to your journey. There is no end to the results that you're seeking, right? Maybe when you first started, you were like, okay, I want to get from here to there, and that's your end result. But then once you are on that journey, not even halfway there, your end result tends to move, like, oh, maybe I can get to that part instead of here, right? And that's how it works, right? And then as you're getting close to that other new goal, you're like, oh, wait a second, maybe I can do that much. And so it's always moving, it's always growing, it's always expanding. And the only way for us to really own what we have done and how far we've come is to have that support. Because the ego really is strong in letting us know that we cannot do it or that it's not real. So having that and writing your fears and then looking at them also is very useful, because you can read them back and be like, huh, this is not really as bad as it was in my head, right? So a lot of times things feel so much bigger in our heads when we are thinking about them and we're just not talking about them. When you say them or express them to someone and you're being heard, or when you're writing them down and then you look at them, you're like, not as bad as it was in my head, right? The feeling is not as bad, and it's also a form of release. You're releasing that fear of whatever it is coming up for you when you're getting doubt for your own abilities and your own journey as to how far you have come. This has been really showing up in a lot of my clients. This week actually, and it's really interesting because when that happens, noticing what you are doing different than when you were on the rising way, right? And also, this is always a circle. We always go up and then we come down, and then we go up and then we go down. That's how it's a spiral, right? It's a spiral. So it's actually like a spiral that goes up like this. And so whenever you are in the low part, that's when you start to feel doubt. If you feed the doubt, then you can start like to feel like really overwhelmed with the feelings and thoughts that are coming down into yourself, doubting what you can do, what you are able to do, what you have done, all of that, right? So noticing and being aware of that, and also being aware of what practices you were doing or you were involved in doing when you're in the up part, right? So when you're in the top part of the spiral, when you're going up and you're feeling like, wow, this is great and I'm doing so good, and I can see my growth and I can see what I can do. That's the top, right? What practices were you doing at that point? And this goes for everybody, and that includes me, right? So were you meditating? Were you doing shadow work on yourself? Were you journaling? Were you doing automatic writing? What were you doing? Right? Were you spending more time outside? Were you grounding? Were you earthing? That's when you put your feet on the earth without any shoes or socks, right? So if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're having a warm season, you can do this very well now. If you're in the north and you're having cold weather or rain or snow, we're having a rainy day here today, then you really cannot do that as much. But all these practices that we do as we took on our journeys to get to where we are, once you stop, then it's really easy to go back if you don't have support, if you don't have the people around you to talk about this, to share, and to be reflected back, that you truly are still here in this other part and you have not regressed, right? Really important. Get that support. Share what you're going through. You're not alone. It's happening to a lot of people, especially in my awareness. It has happened to a lot of my clients, and just talking about it sends that release, right? So sharing with the person or people that you feel close with, the people that are there to see you for who you are and to bring you to the next part and to reflect on you, the advances that you have done when you are doubting yourself. It's a big, big message that's coming through today. So I wanted to come and tell you that and share that with you. And be kind to yourself. Big hugs from me. Big hugs on the doubting part, right? We don't want to be doubting ourselves and our abilities and our journeys. We are right where we're supposed to be. And if you're feeling really uncomfortable about where your life is right now and you're needing or feeling inside like you're needing a change, then you need to meditate. And yeah, because that's going within, right? You meditate and you feel, what is it that I need to do now that's different so that I can get to the next part, so that I can get to the next level. Does that make sense? So that is the key, to look within you and figure out, what else do I need to do in order to move forward as you're getting support, right? From your friends, from like-minded people, from people online that you've met. All of the people that I've met in my journey for my own specific individual holistic growth, I've met online. Every single one, because the pandemic, so haven't gone anywhere, haven't met any people, haven't done the group things, right, in person. So every single person that I have met, I've met online, and it has been a really, really great, amazing support group for me to find it. So sharing this with you, letting you know that that is key, right? In finding that support, in finding that someone that can reflect back on you where you are now from where you were before, and feeling really true to yourself and what you're able to do, right? Without the doubt. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you. It's coming up really strongly that I needed to share. Maybe I'll write a little bit afterwards, but that's it. See you soon. Bye.